Hello everyone, it's me, Bladed Dragon Sonic. Today we're here for the final race, race 21 of 21 in Season 6 of the Formula E Monoposto Championship. Division have 15 points to catch up to when compared with Nissan Edams. If they can overcome that, they will be Constructors Champions. Bladed Dragon Sonic is a 5-time World Drivers Champion, so let's see if he can end Season 6 with a bang at Yas Island. And this is your starting grid then. Ronnie Solar on pole for the last time driving the number 1. Then comes UK Ball and Bladed Dragon Sonic. Then the two Envisions, Violet Babness and not Lewis Hamilton up next. Then Miles Stone, Ravo, Catfish for Jaguar Racing in the number 2. And then Alan Lee for DS Virgin. Then Polarock, Yusuf, Mohamed Nawawi, and the standout driver of the season, El Carlos. Then comes Marcus Nelson, K. Medicis, Tom O'Connor for DS Penske, and then Stefan Sadazan, P. Sierra, Aldridge, and then the two Audis of Batuco and Daf Sanchez. Their upgrade failed and it didn't do too much. And finally, you've got GamerCat 1411. I need to remove some stuff. Don't ask what I watch, what I listen to. I listen to what I want. So Trilly not actually getting the message that it's raining in Yas Island, so they're on the softs. All 5 lights go on for the final time in Monoposto 2023 and Season 6. We go green, and it's an amazing start from Ronnie Solar, covering off the inside line. No, the outside for UK Ball, and that's allowed Bladed Dragon Sonic to get up into second place already. Not Lewis Hamilton up into third. UK Ball's had a shocker, but all the while, from third down to 6th, massive brawl for position, but Ronnie Solar holds the lead from pole. Bladed Dragon Sonic is second, and not Lewis Hamilton up into third. He had an awful race last time out. He's been fired by Envision, and Ravo's going to fill in that second slot as Catfish slides by UK Ball. As down the inside goes Miles Stone. He's forced UK Catfish to take the inside line there. Out in front, though, Bladed Dragon Sonic sending it round the outside on Ronnie Solar. What a move that we only caught the tail end of, and he's already peeled away 0.5 of a second. What an opening few corners of the C3, and it's still not done. Catfish trying to get past Miles Stone there. His future at Nissan is uncertain, as Sierra's been given a 5-second time penalty for contacts with Marcus Nelson, who seems to be struggling with a bit of damage. It may seem maybe an inconsistent setup. Down the inside on El Carlos goes Aldridge, and he, while his season as a whole has been amazing, standout drive at Montreal, this probably isn't where he wants to be. Trulli, they've seen their mistake putting on the softs, but they haven't changed tyres. They're keeping him out. Bladed Dragon Sonic's been re-overtaken by Ronnie Solar. Not Lewis Hamilton on the back of that Nissan. Though Violet Babness is, oh my goodness, that 4-way fight with Ravo just on the tail end of that, angling on for the team that he was team principal of. He's going to Envision, which, reminder, Envision was Maserati and they were Next Evolution Neo, which was where Ravo actually started alongside his teammate UK Ball. Oh my goodness, they're teammates again, I didn't notice. Lap 3 of 20, Ronnie Solar with the fastest lap of the Prix. And that man in the Jaguars pulled out an entire second on Bladed Dragon Sonic there. It's all but certain that he's going to win here. It's an amazing day for Nissan if they can just keep both of their cars ahead of Envision. They already have the driver's standings win. Jaguar, mainly in the mud, is currently, as down the inside on Bladed Dragon Sonic, goes not Lewis Hamilton. He's trying to send it. Can he keep himself where he needs to be? They're side by side coming into the hairpin. This long straight before the hairpin. It's a drag race down to it. Who's going to be ahead? Is it going to be the 5 or the 44? Blade Dragon Sonic taking the wider line, but not Lewis Hamilton having to cover him off there. And up into second goes the Envision Racing driver of not Lewis Hamilton, but he's still going all over the back of the Envision as Blade Dragon Sonic through those slower chicane-like corners in the wet, in the desert. Yeah, those aren't words that you'd ever expect to hear. Lap 4 of 20 at Yas Island. Genuinely amazing battles going on across the field right now. Well, almost across the field, but we ignore this. The intermediates should last 17 out of the 20 laps we have. That's what's been predicted by Tyrewolf. That's basically your Hankook stand-in. But on board with Al Carlos from 12th down to 21st. Awful start to the race for him. As what's happening here? He's gone past the Envisioners Blade Dragon Sonic, but he's almost been sent. My goodness me. What was going on there? It was multiple cars being wide there. We missed most of that potential battle. But my goodness, what's been going on there? On board with not Lewis Hamilton, and he's dropped off an entire second from Blade Dragon Sonic now. Should be able to pull away a lot more. And there's even more battles going on behind these guys. Up front, multiple changes for position. Almost looked like a bit of contact between the guys. He's behind the front leading boys, behind Yusuf. The battle for 11th. It's all going on. Amazing racing for everyone in the pack. Ignoring the truly disaster class. As down the inside, on Ravo goes Miles Stone. And Nissan, they need this. They can have not Lewis Hamilton behind Blade Dragon Sonic right now. That is fine. But if they can't get past Annette Babness, they need more drivers getting past the Envisions. And it looks like UK Ball is going to grant their wish right now. Coming through the third sector. As, oh my goodness, Gamercat's going to get lapped on lap 6. If my maths is correct. Oh, he's just all over the back of that Envision as UK Ball. And he's just not really making any inroads. Almost looked like he had a shot there. And that shot was taken away from him. As down the inside on Annette Babness goes Miles Stone. And it looks like every single chance Envision has of winning the Constructors' Championship in Season 6 is flowing away from their hands. I cannot believe if all that is going on. Babness down into 8th place. The man in second in the championship currently. It's amazing stuff going on. So Blade Dragon Sonic, he's got a 2-second comfort gap as, oh, that's a very slow moving Gamercat there. And he had to maneuver past with quite a bit of excellence there. And he's a bit of a stopgap. And that's collision with not Lewis Hamilton there. Miles Stone, however, up into 3rd. Nissan currently with a 2-3. And that is perfect for their championship aspirations. I do not believe what I am seeing. But at the same time, it's to be expected at this point. With how the softs operate in intermediate weather. I think the rain might actually be coming down a bit heavier now. Wets might be a viable option if you want a bit more control over the car, but I don't know. They don't really give a lot of grip. but they do just channel a lot of water away from the car. Oh, very close between everyone, though. It's genuinely brilliant racing across the field. I know I've said this before. I know I sound like a broken record. But if it's true, it's worth repeating. P. Sierra, by the way, the only driver currently to have a penalty at this final race. As for the plans for December, well, of course, there should be Monoposto beta content coming out. That is, unless Marco Pesce doesn't release the beta on the 1st of December, like I predict, because last year the first beta was released on the 1st of December. It makes sense for it to happen on around the same date again. But during December, I'm going to be focusing the channel on a lot more Sonic the Hedgehog based content. At the Formula E Monoposto Discord server, on the other hand, well, I'm just going to let these guys have a lot of fun discussing Season 7. We might even have our own mini championship held in last year's game. That could be a bit of fun, you know? Fastest first sector going to Ravo in the meantime while I was spewing all of that. Holorock closing in on his teammate, who is definitely struggling on those dry tires on a wet track. That teammate Marduk challenge not doing too much good for the Spanish driver at the moment. Yusuf of coming across the trolley now, and yeah, here come the rest of the pack behind them. Looking back with GamerCat, it looks as if, with how slow he's driving, he's got a puncture or something, but no, he doesn't have a puncture or anything like that. He's just genuinely slow on his inters, and he's holding up a big train behind him as well, because look at this, it's lap 9 now. These guys haven't even made it to Sector 2 yet. They're coming up to... No, they are in Sector 2. They haven't made it to Sector 3 yet. But the leaders are now getting to that second sector. Heck, Ronnie Sola could actually lap GamerCat twice in one race. And with the speed of the top runners, could we have the first race where we've had a driver getting 3 lapped occasions? Yeah, Ronnie Sola is closing in as Polarox into the pits, and everyone behind him is into the pits as well. It's time for dry tires. GamerCat could be speeding up here. Yeah, he's in 8th gear. He's found the traction that the guys behind him do not have as much of. But I still believe that GamerCat's going to have to come into the pits on this lap because he's on 30% tire. It was not worth the gamble, but he's staying out anyway. Those tires could puncture, but he stayed out. So into the pits come the leaders then. Snowler's in. Bladed Dragon Sonic, the first man in the top 8 to actually come into the pits and change their tires. And he comes out very quickly, very thick and fast. Solo had to wait for a minute there. He's on the softs with 10 to go. I think the mediums would be a very good option to try and get to the end of the race. Softs, you could make it, but it will be very close between everything that's going on. And look at that, it's GamerCat getting lapped more. Before, it was because he had the wrong tires for the track conditions. Now he's got 2-1 tires. His tires on 24%. In other words, any bit of contact is a chance of a puncture for him. Trying to find him on the mini-map. The man behind him is Tom O'Connor. You can just about see the trolley ahead. It's really a bit awful for this man to have happen to him, as Ronnie Sola is having the fastest second sector of anybody. I do believe he should come into the pit, should GamerCat, because you can see the DS automobile of El Carlos behind, and yes, into the pits comes GamerCat. 18% tire wear. Not what you ever want to see. Getting past Batuko. Is that? Yeah, that's Batuko. Lapping him. It's Ronnie Sola. And he's looking at a win to end off the season. To show that while he is retiring at the end of season 6, he still has pace. He might not even retire. Last season. Not even last season. In season 2, he announced his retirement. He wasn't going to be racing in season 2. But then they brought in Scribble Live, so there was no point in that. So he came back and started rebuilding the Jaguar team. And they've won a Drivers' Championship now. They've won 2 Constructors. However, even with all that, Blade of Dragon Sonic, he's got DRS on Muhammad Awawi. No, that's Medesis. That's the second sector, and Blade of Dragon Sonic is closing in on Ronnie Sola. It's time for round 2 between the only 2 World Drivers' Champions in the series. The 4-time champion and the 1-time champion. It's very weird how both of their numbers reflect that in one way or another. As Raver's been given a 5-second time penalty, and we've got a collision. That is not Iron Babinus. That is not Lewis Hamilton involved in that one. Raver's missing part of his front wing. Track's been cleared now, and not Lewis Hamilton's also missing part of his front wing. Envision's championship aspirations, they were low before. They are completely gone now. And Ravo, in his final race for his own team, HWA Race Lab, has had probably the clumsiest collision he's ever had since his days at Mercedes. My goodness me, what has happened there? Got 8 to go, and Blade Dragon Sonic, he was wading through laps cars there, and he's now 2 seconds off the back of Ronnie Sola. I don't think he's going to win this race. Unless tyre wear becomes an issue, and the top guys don't come in for a second stop. Ronnie Sola will win this race. Unless he crashes or something. That's unlikely though. He hasn't really made too many issues. That's a slow moving DS Automobiles. It's just Tom O'Connor, however. He's struggling a bit with his tyre wear, it seems. It's nothing major. But we've got 7 laps to go. And we're still waiting for a Constructors Champion to be crowned for the last time in Monoposto 2023. When I first got the beta for this game, I was not very impressed. It looks like a game made in a hurry, to be honest. And that's kind of because it was. It was just in beta. All that feedback that everyone on the Monoposto server was giving is now shown. Because now we have probably the most fleshed out video game, F1 game on mobile. The most accessible F1 game on mobile. The one with the most features as well. Is that... No, that's Marcus Nelson who's about to get lapped by Blade Dragon Sonic there. But wow, this game, it is about community. Yes, there are some AI aspects in there, and I'm not very happy about it. Like, you know, when you see TV mode, the girl that shows up there, that's AI generated. All of the assets on the title screen, AI generated. Almost all, if not definitely all of the sponsors you see on track, apart from Gabama or something, are not real companies, and they're not even just made up. They are AI generated from things. But yeah, it's still a great game that I highly recommend picking up. And all I can say is next year's game should show a lot more. I'm just so glad I've been able to share this game with so many of you guys. seconds, however, separate Ronnie Sola and Bladed Dragon Sonic. We've got roughly 5.5 laps to go. As Ronnie Sola coming around the final turn, it's now 5 laps to go. Polrock, a minute and 10 seconds off the lead. Ronnie Sola is closer to him than he is to Ronnie. Stone getting past a DS automobile. That is El Carlos, who's diving into the pits at the end of this lap for a second stop. Those softs are falling off fast now. 64% have the mediums. Stefan Salazar, the only driver on the hards, and he's on 68. There's a lot of tire wear here in the desert. El Carlos dropping down the order. And he's coming out. Oh, almost right on Iron Banis. No, not Lewis Hamilton there. Very close between the two of them. Well done to them for not even colliding. Is that Gamer Cat ahead of Ravo? I thought so. Remember, Ravo with the 5-second time penalty, and he's 41 seconds off the lead. The top 8 basically have equal cars as far as the game is concerned. And yet, there's a 42-second gap. It is all down to drivers, really. And into the pits comes Ronnie Sola! Ronnie's in! With 4 to go! Bladed Dragon Sonic comes across the line to start lap 16. This could be a massive undercut attempt from Jaguar in the dying stages of the C3. Alan Lee, Marcus Nelson, and Aldridge all in the pits as well. Coming out now. We've got 4 to go. UK Ball's also in. What is this strategy call from these guys? There is a chance that this is a race-winning strategy call, because as Ronnie Sola is actually gaining pretty well here. Blade Dragon Sonic struggling on his mediums. There's 58% tire for him, 58 for Catfish, and 97 for Ronnie Sola. This track takes so much away from your tires. 4 seconds between Catfish and Sola. If Bladed Dragon Sonic came into the pits now, he cannot come out in the lead. It would take a literal safety car for him to come into the pits and take the lead. But even then, there'd only be 1 lap left in the Prix, so there's not too much to care about coming into the pits. We don't have a Nicholas Latifi in the Prix, right? Yeah, Blade Dragon Sonic staying out for another tour. Yusuf into the pits for the 2nd time. That's a lot of wear on his tires. Lap 17 of 20. Blade Dragon Sonic leads Catfish pits. So that puts Ronnie Sola up into 2nd. Stone is in. And it's just a weather thing. No, this isn't, because Babness is staying out. So Stone's in for softs. Babness up into 3rd place. Could Envision still win this Constructors' Championship? Remember, 15 points is the gap between Nissan and Envision. It is still very possible for them to win the Constructors' Championship within these final 3 laps of the Prix. But we go on board with Bladed Dragon Sonic, whose tires are failing him now. 6 seconds the gap between him and Ronnie Sola. That should be enough if he doesn't come in to keep the lead of the Prix. There is 16 seconds between him and Iron Babness. That will be very close. He will come out ahead of Catfish. But if he's ahead of Babness or not, what is for certain is that he is the World Drivers' Champion. But will he be ahead of Babness if he comes into the pits? He stayed out for another tour. It's lap 18 of 20. 2 laps to go. Solo rounding out the final corner. He should actually get past him. Polrock coming into the pits now. Everyone from 9th back has been lapped at least once in this Prix. That's Babness coming across the line now. Sierra's into the pits. O'Connor's in. And, not Lewis Hamilton's into the pits. It's a scheduled stop, but it's a 3rd stop of the Prix for him. Bit weird for him to do that. He's gone back out onto the softs. So this could be a fastest lap attempt for Envision to try and take every point they can. Coming down the back stretch now is Bladed Dragon Sonic on lap 18 of 20. If he were to come into the pits now, he would come out right ahead of his teammate. He would come out in 4th place, which should still be enough for Nissan to take the win in the Constructors' Championship. But look at the amount of struggling and hustling he's got to do with those tyres. He can afford to be behind Ronnie Sola, so he does. He's into the pits on the penultimate lap of the Prix here in Yas Island. Ronnie Sola leads. Bladed Dragon Sonic, will he be second or will it be Inet Badness? Badness coming through the final turn. He's got to have the pit. His tyres are dead. 36% wear. Catfish could take second here. No, he does not. Bladed Dragon Sonic is second place on the penultimate lap of the Prix. He's 14 seconds down on Ronnie Sola. That extending of his stint has not helped him one bit. Babness and his extending of his stint has just killed their hopes of winning the Constructors' Championship in Season 6. And so, currently, for the 5th time, that's 5 out of 6, Bladed Dragon Sonic will be the Drivers' Champion. And for the 4th time, 4 out of 6, Nissan, Renault Edams, Mercedes, EQ, whatever you want to call them, will be the Constructors' Champions. But we still have just a few more miles to go. GamerCat, he's come in again, and he's going to come out as Ronnie Sola starts his 20th lap of the Prix. Inet Babinus has been given a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision, and that is with not Stefan Salazar, but his teammate Aldridge. Yeah, that's with Aldridge. Looks like a little bit of a tap caused that penalty to be triggered. I'm very happy that we have automatic penalties now. Bladed Dragon Sonic, he set the fastest first sector of anyone. He's taken that away from Ronnie Sola. He's got clear track ahead of him, but a Jaguar 2 seconds back on less fresh tyres. This man has some of the freshest tyres on the grid, but this man, Ronnie Sola, coming to start his 3rd sector after setting the fastest 2nd sector of anyone. He's done so much greatness today. Ronnie Sola, he's been perfect throughout this weekend. Started on pole, coming into the penultimate, and now final turns in Season 6. Ronnie Sola, his team's had a hard season, but he ends it on a high by winning at Yas Island. Ronnie Sola wins the Yas Island E-Prix with the fastest lap of the E-Prix as well. GamerCat classified 3 laps down. That's a new record. Bladed Dragon Sonic resets the fastest lap of an E-Prix. It's an 11.66. 1.666 seconds down. Stone comes home in 4th with Catfish in 3rd, and that's it for Envision Version Racing. They are not the Constructors' Champions. It is Nissan in Season 6. Babness is 6th. Ravo is 7th. Not Lewis Hamilton is 8th. Yusuf comes home a lap down in 9th. Aldridge is coming home across the line in 12th now. Is Stefan Salazar, however, 2 laps down? We still need to check that because, yes, GamerCat is 3 laps down, but is anyone going to be classified as 2? We're going to see the Tuco coming across the line now. 1 lap. Nawawi. It's 1 lap as well. Sarazan. I believe that's 2 laps down. And this is your podium then. Similar to most Yas Island E-Prix that we have, it's the 2 Jaguars of Ronnie Sola and Catfish and Bladed Dragon Sonic. They've been on that podium for 3 consecutive seasons at the final race of the E-Prix season. But for the first time at the final race, it's Ronnie Sola on the top step, followed by Bladed Dragon Sonic, Catfish, Milestone, U-Cable, and Inet Bamness. Then comes Not Lewis Hamilton and Ravo. Yusuf and Alan Lee completing your point scorers. The non-scorers were Polarock, Aldridge, Marcus Nelson, Tom O'Connor, Daph Sanchez, P. Sierra, Medicis, El Carlos, Batuco, Mawawi, Stefan Salazar, and Gamercat, who set a new record for the most laps down in an E-Prix in this championship. Bladed Dragon Sonic is your championship winner, 5 times a world drivers champion. Then comes Inet Bamness in second place. Then the 2 HWAs of Ravo and Ukable. Then comes Not Lewis Hamilton and Catfish ahead of the other Nissan of Miles Stone. Then comes Rodney Stoller, 3 points back from Miles. And then best of the rest, the rookie El Carlos. I want to see this man do well so much. He did so much overtaking. And it wasn't in any easy position. And it looks like he's going to be rewarded with a Jaguar drive next season. Then comes P. Sierra, Medicis, Daph Sanchez, Aldridge, Mohamed Awawi, and Batuco. Then Tom O'Connor, Polarock, Gamercat, Stefan Salazar, Yusuf, behind his teammate Marcus Nelson, and in last place, tied on points with Yusuf, it's Alan Lee. Not the return he wanted. In the Constructors' Championship, Nissan win on 460 points. They're ahead of Envision Racing on 428. Don't ask why it says Spain there. We're not going to Spain. Then it's HWA Race Lab on 406 points. Then Jaguar on 359. DS Penske on 111. Then Aguri on 81. Absolutely Floudy Sports next on 79. Then it's Dragon on 68. Trilly's up next on 65 points. Then DS Virgin Racing on 62 points. And then Mahindra in last place, as they seem to find themselves all the time. They're on 30 points. Well, it's been a great 6 seasons in this game. I'm so excited to see what Marco Pesco brings for next year's game. But as for me, I've been Bladed Dragon Sonic. You've been watching the Formula E Monoposto Championship Season 6, and I bid you farewell for the year.